Victor Aldridge, a 38-year-old tech mogul, lived a life that most could only dream of. As the CEO of Axiom Innovations, a leading company in AI and robotics, Victor had built an empire from scratch. His name was synonymous with cutting-edge technology and innovation, earning him a place on the covers of numerous business magazines. Despite his success, Victor remained a mystery to the public. He rarely attended social events, focusing almost entirely on his work. His luxurious penthouse in the heart of New York City was a testament to his wealth. Victor's rise to success was anything but easy. Growing up in a poor family with 2 sisters and a younger brother, he had always dreamed of a better life. His passion for technology was evident from a young age. At just 14, he started building simple robots from spare parts he found at local junkyards. His fascination with technology only grew stronger, leading him to earn a scholarship to study computer science at MIT. At MIT, Victor's brilliance shone. He was not just a student, he was a visionary. His projects often left his professors in awe, and it wasn't long before tech companies began to take notice. However, it was a heartbreak during his college years that truly fueled his drive for success. A woman he loved deeply left him for someone wealthier, making Victor vow to never let anyone else dictate his worth. After graduation, Victor joined a leading tech firm where he quickly climbed the ranks, but the entrepreneurial spirit within him pushed him to leave the company and start his own venture. Axiom Innovations was born in a small garage, much like the tech giants of the past. Victor's relentless work ethic and innovative ideas propelled the company to new heights, making it a powerhouse in the tech industry. Despite his professional achievements, Victor's personal life remained devoid of warmth. He lived alone, his only companion being Lucy, his loyal housekeeper who had been with him since the early days of Axiom Innovations. Lucy cooked, cleaned, and took care of Victor's daily needs, but she could never fill the void in his heart. Victor found solace in books, particularly science fiction and classic literature. Every evening, he would sit by the large window in his penthouse, lost in the world of his favorite stories. Victor's reclusive lifestyle kept him away from the social spotlight, making him an enigma to the media and the public. He rarely gave interviews, and when he did, he spoke only about his work. This aura of mystery only added to his allure, making him one of the most desirable bachelors in the city. However, Victor had little interest in relationships. The pain of his past heartbreaks still lingered, and he was wary of letting anyone get too close. Victor Aldridge's company, Axiom Innovations, stood as a beacon of technological advancement in the bustling heart of New York City. The firm specialized in artificial intelligence and robotics, leading the charge in developing next-generation technologies. From automated personal assistants to advanced industrial robots, Axiom's innovations were transforming industries and daily life. The company's rapid growth was a testament to Victor's vision and leadership. He had an uncanny ability to anticipate market needs and pioneer solutions that kept Axiom ahead of its competitors. The company's headquarters, a sleek high-rise with glass walls and state-of-the-art facilities, mirrored Victor's ambition and commitment to excellence. Inside, the atmosphere was a blend of intense focus and creative energy, driven by a team that shared Victor's passion for innovation. Despite his professional success, Victor's personal life was starkly different. His penthouse, though luxurious, often felt empty. The sprawling space, filled with modern art and the latest gadgets, lacked the warmth of human connection. Victor's routine was unvarying. Wake up early, head to the office, work late into the night, and then return home to his penthouse. His only respite was the time he spent reading. His collection of books ranged from classic literature to the latest science fiction novels, and they provided him a temporary escape from the pressures of his world. Lucy, his housekeeper, was a constant presence in his life, a kind and motherly figure. She'd been with Victor since the early days of Axiom Innovations. She was more than just an employee. She was a confidant and a silent supporter who ensured Victor's home life ran smoothly. Lucy's meals were always perfect, and her care for the penthouse kept it immaculate. Despite this, Lucy knew better than to pry into Victor's personal affairs. She respected his need for solitude and understood the silent pain he carried from his past. Victor's social interactions were limited to business meetings and occasional public appearances for Axiom. He found networking events tedious and often skipped them, preferring to focus on his work. This reclusiveness only added to his mystique, making him an enigmatic figure in the tech world. His memories of college were bittersweet. The heartbreak he experienced from his first love, Julia, was a driving force behind his relentless pursuit of success. Julia had been everything to him, his first love, his muse and his dream, but her departure for a wealthier man had shattered Victor. He channeled his pain into his work, using it as fuel to build an empire that would make him invulnerable to such emotional wounds again. Victor's commitment to his company left little room for personal relationships. He believed that love and business were incompatible, and he was unwilling to risk his hard-earned success for the sake of companionship. However, as Axiom Innovations grew, so did the demands of his position. Victor began to realize that his solitary lifestyle might be a hindrance, especially when dealing with potential investors and partners who valued personal connections. This realization hit home when William Mendoza, a significant investor from Spain, expressed interest in collaborating with Axiom Innovations. William, a traditional and family-oriented man, valued relationships deeply. He invited Victor to a business dinner, explicitly stating that he expected Victor to bring a significant other. This request threw Victor into a dilemma. He had no significant other, nor did he have the time or inclination to start a relationship. This unexpected challenge forced Victor to confront the void in his personal life. The upcoming dinner with William Mendoza was crucial for Axiom's future, and Victor knew he couldn't attend alone. For the first time, he felt the need for companionship, not just as a business necessity, but as a personal desire. This realization marked the beginning of a significant change in Victor's life, one that would lead him down an unexpected path. The invitation from William Mendoza had been a surprise. William was a prominent figure in the European tech industry, known for his sharp business acumen and his preference for working with companies that shared his values. His interest in Axiom Innovations represented a significant opportunity for Victor and his company. However, William's stipulation that Victor bring a significant other to the dinner was a curveball Victor had not anticipated. Victor received the invitation one evening while he was in his penthouse reading a book on quantum computing. His assistant, Claw, called to inform him of William's terms. "Mr. Aldridge, I've just received a call from William Mendoza's office. He's very interested in discussing a potential collaboration with Axiom Innovations. However, he has a rather unusual request for the dinner meeting," Claw said, her voice tinged with hesitation. "What kind of request?" Victor asked, putting down his book and leaning forward in his chair. "He expects you to bring a significant other. Apparently, it's a tradition of his to have these business dinners as social events, and he values seeing the personal side of his potential partners." Victor sighed, rubbing his temples. "A significant other. Claw, you know I don't have time for relationships. My life is my work." "I understand, Mr. Aldridge, but this dinner is important. William's investment could propel Axiom to new heights. Perhaps you could find someone suitable to accompany you just for the evening?" Victor considered Claw's suggestion. The idea of hiring someone to play the role of his girlfriend seemed absurd, yet he couldn't deny the importance of the dinner. William's backing could open doors to European markets and bring in substantial investments. "All right, Claw, see what you can do. Find someone suitable. She needs to be presentable, well-mannered, and able to handle herself in a high-stakes business environment." Clay's relief was palpable over the phone. "I'll get on it right away, Mr. Aldridge. I'll compile a list of potential candidates and set up meetings for you to decide." The following day, Claw presented Victor with a list of candidates. Each had been vetted thoroughly for their poise, intelligence, and ability to navigate social situations. However, as Victor met with each candidate, he found something lacking. One was too nervous, another too aloof, and yet another too eager. None of them seemed to fit the image of a genuine partner who could impress William Mendoza. Feeling frustrated and running out of options, Victor decided to take a break and clear his head. He walked out of his office and headed to a nearby coffee shop, a place he often visited to escape the pressures of his work. As he sipped his coffee, he noticed a young woman serving customers with a bright smile and a graceful demeanor. Her name tag read, Amber Harper. Amber caught Victor's attention immediately. She was strikingly beautiful, with her long dark hair tied back in a ponytail, and her blue eyes sparkled with intelligence and warmth. She moved with an air of confidence despite the busy and sometimes chaotic environment of the coffee shop. Victor watched as she handled difficult customers with patience and charm, her smile never wavering. Intrigued, Victor decided to approach her. He waited until she had a moment of respite before making his move. "Excuse me, Miss Harper," he began, trying to sound casual despite the unusual nature of his request. Amber turned to him with a friendly smile. "Yes, how can I help you?" "My name is Victor Aldridge," he introduced himself, noting a flicker of recognition in her eyes. "I have a rather unusual proposition for you." Amber raised an eyebrow, clearly curious but also cautious. "Go on." Victor took a deep breath. "I have a very important business dinner coming up, and it requires me to bring a significant other. I don't have one. I'd like to hire you to accompany me as my date for the evening. You would be compensated generously, of course." Amber stared at him, taken aback. "You want to hire me to pretend to be your girlfriend?" "Yes," Victor confirmed. "I understand it's a strange request, but I've seen how you handle yourself. You're confident, articulate, and you seem like someone who can adapt to any situation. Please consider it." Amber looked at Victor, her mind racing. The proposition was indeed unusual, but the prospect of extra money was tempting. She had bills to pay and a younger brother to support. After a moment of deliberation, she nodded. "All right, Mr. Aldridge, I'll do it, but I have a few conditions of my own." "Of course," Victor agreed. "Anything you need." Amber smiled, her decision made. "Then I guess we have a deal." With Amber's agreement, Victor felt a sense of relief wash over him. The first hurdle had been cleared, and now they could begin preparing for the dinner with William Mendoza. With Amber Harper agreeing to accompany him to the dinner, Victor felt a cautious sense of optimism. The next few days were a whirlwind of preparations. Victor wanted to ensure that Amber was ready to face the high-stakes environment of the dinner with William Mendoza. The day after their initial meeting, Victor arranged for Amber to visit his office. He wanted to brief her on what to expect and to see if she had any questions or concerns. When Amber arrived, she was dressed in a simple professional outfit, her hair neatly tied back. She looked both nervous and determined. "Thank you for coming, Amber," Victor greeted her warmly. "I appreciate you agreeing to this." "It's an unusual request, but I could use the extra money," Amber replied candidly. "Plus, it sounds like an interesting challenge." Victor nodded. "I've arranged for a personal shopper to help you pick out an appropriate outfit for the dinner. We'll meet with her this afternoon." "Sounds good," Amber said, though a hint of apprehension crossed her face. "I'll also brief you on some background about my company and the people who will be attending the dinner," Victor continued. "William Mendoza is a significant investor, and his fiancée Lila will also be there. They're very traditional and place a high value on personal connections." Amber listened intently, absorbing the information. "I understand. I'll do my best to make a good impression." "I'm sure you will," Victor said, offering her a reassuring smile. That afternoon, Victor and Amber met with a personal shopper, a woman named Nancy, at an upscale boutique. Nancy greeted them with a bright smile and immediately set to work pulling various dresses and accessories for Amber to try on. As Amber tried on dress after dress, Victor watched, offering feedback and ensuring she felt comfortable. They eventually settled on a stunning evening gown that accentuated Amber's natural beauty. It was elegant yet understated, perfect for the formal dinner. "You look incredible," Victor said when Amber emerged from the dressing room in the chosen dress. Amber blushed slightly. "Thank you. I hope it's good enough." "It's more than good enough," Victor assured her. They also selected shoes, jewelry, and a clutch to complete the ensemble. By the end of the shopping trip, Amber felt more confident about the upcoming dinner. Over the next few days, Victor and Amber spent more time together, getting to know each other and preparing for the dinner. Victor briefed her on Axiom Innovations, its key projects, and the people she would meet, Amber, in turn, shared snippets of her life, her struggles and her aspirations. Victor learned that Amber had a younger brother she was supporting, working multiple jobs to make ends meet. Despite her challenges, she was determined and resourceful, traits that Victor admired. He found himself opening up to her, sharing more about his own background and the heartbreak that had driven him to focus solely on his work. One evening, as they were reviewing details for the dinner, Amber asked, "Victor, why did you choose me?" Victor looked thoughtful. "Honestly, when I saw you in the coffee shop handling everything with such grace and confidence, I just knew you'd be perfect. You have a natural ability to connect with people, and I needed someone who could do that." Amber smiled, touched by his words. "Thank you for believing in me." The day of the dinner arrived quickly. Victor and Amber met at his penthouse, where a professional stylist was waiting to help Amber with her hair and makeup. As the stylist worked, Victor paced the living room, going over last-minute details in his mind. When Amber finally emerged ready for the evening, Victor was momentarily speechless. She looked stunning, her hair elegantly styled, and her makeup highlighting her striking features. The evening gown they had chosen fit her perfectly. "You look amazing," Victor said, struggling to find the right words. Amber smiled nervously. "Thank you. I just hope I don't mess this up." "You won't," Victor said confidently. "You're going to do great." They left the penthouse and headed to the restaurant where the dinner was being held. As they drove, Victor felt a mix of anticipation and anxiety. This dinner was crucial for his company, and he hoped everything would go smoothly. The restaurant chosen for the dinner with William Mendoza was one of New York City's finest, known for its exclusivity and impeccable service. Victor and Amber arrived slightly early, wanting to ensure they were settled before William and Lila arrived. The maitre d' led them to a private dining room, elegantly decorated with soft lighting and a beautifully set table. As they waited, Victor could feel the tension building. Amber, sensing his anxiety, reached over and gently touched his hand. "Relax, Victor. Everything will be fine," she said, offering a reassuring smile. Victor nodded, grateful for her calm presence. "You're right. Let's make this a night to remember." A few minutes later, William Mendoza and his fiancée Lila arrived. William was a tall, imposing figure with a warm smile and a firm handshake. Lila, elegant and poised, greeted them with a friendly demeanor. "Victor, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person," William said, shaking Victor's hand. "The pleasure is mine, William. Thank you for the opportunity," Victor replied. "And this must be your lovely companion," William said, turning to Amber. "Yes, this is Amber Harper," Victor introduced her. "Amber, this is William Mendoza and his fiancée Lila." "A pleasure to meet you both," Amber said gracefully, shaking their hands. "Likewise," Lila said with a smile. "I've heard a lot about Axiom Innovations. It's impressive what you've accomplished, Victor." "Thank you, Lila. We're very proud of our work," Victor responded, feeling a bit more at ease. As they settled into their seats, the conversation flowed smoothly. William was genuinely interested in Axiom Innovations and asked insightful questions about their projects and future plans. Victor, well prepared, answered confidently, detailing their latest advancements in AI and robotics. Amber, meanwhile, charmed William and Lila with her intelligence and wit. She spoke knowledgeably about various topics, from technology to literature, and even shared some personal anecdotes that had everyone laughing. Her natural ability to connect with people shone through, and Victor could see that William and Lila were genuinely impressed. Halfway through the dinner, William leaned back in his chair, a satisfied smile on his face. "Victor, I must say, I'm very impressed with both you and Amber. It's clear that you have a strong vision for your company, and you've surrounded yourself with remarkable people." "Thank you, William. That means a lot coming from you," Victor replied, feeling a sense of relief and accomplishment. As the evening progressed, the conversation took a more personal turn. William and Lila shared stories about their life in Spain and their journey together. Lila, noticing the natural chemistry between Victor and Amber, couldn't help but ask, "So, how did you two meet?" Victor and Amber exchanged a quick glance, the rehearsed story ready to be shared. "We met at a coffee shop," Amber began, smiling at Victor. "I was working there and Victor came in one day. We struck up a conversation, and the rest, as they say, is history." "Sounds like fate," Lila said, clearly pleased with the story. "It's wonderful to see such a genuine connection." William nodded in agreement. "Indeed, it's rare to find that kind of connection, especially in our line of work." As the night drew to a close, William made his decision known. "Victor, I'm very interested in pursuing this collaboration. I believe our companies can achieve great things together." Victor's heart soared. "That's fantastic news, William. I'm excited about the possibilities." William stood, signaling the end of the dinner. "Let's discuss the details in the coming days. For now, let's enjoy the rest of the evening." With the formalities over, the atmosphere relaxed even further. They shared a few more laughs and stories before saying their goodbyes. As they exited the restaurant, William pulled Victor aside. "Victor, you've made a wise choice in your partner. Amber is remarkable." "Thank you, William. I couldn't agree more," Victor replied sincerely. In the car on the way back to the penthouse, Victor turned to Amber. "You were incredible tonight. I don't think I could have done it without you." Amber smiled, her eyes sparkling with pride. "It was a team effort, Victor. I'm glad I could help." As they drove through the city, Victor realized that his feelings for Amber had deepened. What had started as a business arrangement had turned into something more. He found himself drawn to her strength, intelligence, and warmth. The future suddenly seemed brighter, not just for Axiom Innovations, but for his personal life as well. The successful dinner with William Mendoza was just the beginning. Over the following weeks, Victor and Amber continued to see each other, both in the context of their agreement and beyond. Their professional facade began to blur as genuine feelings developed between them. Victor and Amber met frequently to discuss the upcoming collaboration with William. These meetings were often held in Victor's office or at quiet cafes where they could work without interruption. Each encounter revealed more about their individual personalities and lives. One evening, after a particularly productive meeting, Victor suggested they take a walk through Central Park. It was a warm summer evening, and the park was alive with activity. They strolled along the pathways, enjoying the serene environment. "Thank you for agreeing to this arrangement," Victor said, breaking the comfortable silence. "I know it's not something you planned on doing." Amber smiled. "It's been an interesting experience, and it's given me a chance to get to know you. You're not as intimidating as you first seemed." Victor chuckled. "I'm glad to hear that. I've enjoyed getting to know you as well. You've brought something into my life that I didn't realize I was missing." As they walked, Victor found himself opening up more about his past, his family, and his dreams. Amber listened intently, sharing her own stories about growing up in Brooklyn, her struggles, and her aspirations. Their conversations flowed naturally, and Victor realized how much he valued her perspective. One of the things that brought Victor and Amber closer was their shared love of books. Victor, who had always found solace in reading, discovered that Amber was an aspiring writer. She wrote short stories in her free time, and her dream was to one day publish a novel. "I'd love to read some of your work," Victor said one evening as they sat in his penthouse, surrounded by his extensive collection of books. Amber blushed slightly. "I'm not sure it's ready for an audience yet, but I'll share it with you someday." They spent hours discussing their favorite authors, genres, and the impact of literature on their lives. Victor was fascinated by Amber's insights and found himself inspired by her passion for writing. Their relationship took a significant turn one night when Victor invited Amber to a gala hosted by a prominent tech organization. It was a high-profile event, and Victor wanted Amber by his side. Amber was initially hesitant. "Are you sure about this? It's one thing to accompany you to a business dinner, but this is a major event." "I'm sure," Victor replied. "I want you to be there with me. Besides, you've handled everything so far with grace and confidence. This will be no different." Amber agreed, and they spent the next few days preparing for the gala. Victor arranged for a designer dress, matching accessories, and a stylist to help Amber get ready. When the night of the gala arrived, Amber looked stunning in a midnight blue gown that accentuated her natural beauty. The event was held at a grand ballroom in one of New York City's most luxurious hotels. As Victor and Amber entered the venue, all eyes were on them. Victor, usually reserved and aloof at such events, felt a sense of pride and comfort having Amber by his side. Throughout the evening, they mingled with other guests, engaged in conversations about technology and innovation, and enjoyed the exquisite cuisine. Amber's charm and intelligence shone through, captivating everyone she spoke with. As the night progressed, Victor found himself increasingly drawn to Amber. During a slow dance, he finally voiced what had been growing in his heart. "Amber, this started as a business arrangement, but it's become so much more to me. I've realized that I care about you deeply. You've brought a light into my life that I didn't know was missing." Amber looked up at him, her eyes filled with emotion. "I feel the same way, Victor. You've shown me a world I never imagined I'd be a part of, and you've believed in me more than anyone else ever has." Victor leaned in and kissed her softly, sealing their unspoken feelings. It was a turning point in their relationship, transforming their arrangement into something real and profound. After the gala, Victor and Amber's relationship flourished. They spent more time together, not just as business partners, but as a couple. Victor introduced Amber to his friends and colleagues, and she quickly became a beloved presence in his life. Amber, encouraged by Victor, began to take her writing more seriously. With his support, she dedicated more time to her stories and even started submitting her work to literary magazines. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day, built on mutual respect, admiration, and genuine affection. Victor found a balance between his demanding career and his personal life, thanks to Amber's grounding presence. As Victor and Amber's relationship deepened, their lives became increasingly intertwined. They navigated the challenges of their professional and personal worlds together, forging a bond that was as strong as it was unexpected. Victor and Amber continued to support each other in their respective endeavors. Victor's work at Axiom Innovations remained demanding, but with Amber by his side, he found new inspiration and balance. Amber, encouraged by Victor's unwavering belief in her talent, dedicated more time to her writing and began to see the fruits of her labor. Their evenings were often spent at Victor's penthouse, where they would cook dinner together, discuss their day, and enjoy quiet moments of reading. Amber's presence brought warmth and vitality to the previously sterile space, transforming it into a true home. One evening, as they were preparing dinner, Amber brought up a topic that had been on her mind. "Victor, I've been thinking about taking a writing workshop. It's a bit expensive, but I think it would really help me improve my skills." Victor smiled, pleased to see her pursuing her passion. "I think that's a wonderful idea. Don't worry about the cost. Consider it an investment in your future." Amber beamed, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, Victor. Your support means everything to me." As their relationship blossomed, Victor began to think about the future more seriously. He realized that he couldn't imagine his life without Amber. She had become his confidant, his partner, and the love of his life. Determined to make their relationship official, Victor began planning a proposal. He wanted the moment to be perfect, something that reflected their unique bond and shared interests. After much thought, he decided to propose during a private dinner at their favorite restaurant, which had a cozy ambiance and a stunning view of the city skyline. On the night of the proposal, Victor was uncharacteristically nervous. He had arranged for a table on the restaurant's terrace, adorned with flowers and candles. As they sat down, the city lights twinkling around them, Victor took Amber's hand. "Amber, these past few months with you have been the happiest of my life. You've brought joy and meaning into my world in ways I never expected. I love you more than words can express." Amber's eyes filled with emotion as she listened. Victor took a deep breath and continued, "I can't imagine my future without you. Will you marry me?" He pulled out a small velvet box and opened it to reveal a beautiful engagement ring. Amber gasped, her hand covering her mouth in shock. "Yes, Victor, yes, I will," she exclaimed, tears of joy streaming down her face. Victor slipped the ring onto her finger and kissed her, sealing their commitment to each other. The other diners on the terrace applauded, and the couple basked in their shared happiness. Their wedding was a small, intimate affair, held in a beautiful garden surrounded by close friends and family. Amber wore a simple yet elegant dress, and Victor looked dashing in a tailored suit. The ceremony was heartfelt and emotional, with vows that reflected their deep love and respect for each other. After the wedding, Victor and Amber embarked on a honeymoon that celebrated their shared love of literature and travel. They visited iconic literary locations around the world, including the homes of famous writers and the settings of their favorite novels. From the rolling hills of the English countryside, where Jane Austen once lived, to the bustling streets of Paris that inspired Hemingway, their journey was a celebration of their shared passion. The trip brought them even closer as they explored new places and created memories that would last a lifetime. They returned home with a renewed sense of connection and a deeper appreciation for each other. Back in New York, Victor and Amber settled into their life as a married couple. Victor continued to lead Axiom Innovations with renewed vigor, his personal happiness reflecting in his professional success. William Mendoza's investment had propelled the company to new heights, and Victor's innovative projects garnered international acclaim. Amber, now Mrs. Aldridge, flourished in her writing career. With Victor's encouragement, she published her first book, a collection of short stories that received critical acclaim. She dedicated the book to Victor, acknowledging his unwavering support and the profound impact he had on her life. Their evenings were often spent together in their penthouse, reading, writing, and enjoying each other's company. They found a balance between their professional ambitions and personal life, creating a harmonious and fulfilling partnership. Victor and Amber Aldridge built a life filled with love and mutual support. Their journey from a business arrangement to a profound partnership transformed Victor's once solitary penthouse into a warm, vibrant home. Axiom Innovations thrived with Victor balancing cutting-edge advancements and ethical responsibility, while Amber flourished as a published author. Their family grew with the arrival of their daughter, Zara, bringing even more joy and purpose to their lives. Victor, once singularly focused on his career, embraced fatherhood with newfound passion, cherishing every moment with Zara. Amber continued to write, balancing her creative pursuits with the joys of motherhood. Together, Victor and Amber created a harmonious life, blending professional success with personal fulfillment. Their love story, rooted in unexpected beginnings, became a testament to the transformative power of genuine connection and unwavering support.